I'm going to see if I can do a rock to point video with some rocks that have been sitting in my yard. I'm digging way down into the very last chunks I've got. I don't know what the quality is on this chert. It seems to be okay. I'm digging them out to see how many of these longer pieces I have. Let's see. That's around 5, but it's pointed. Yeah, that's not too bad. This one doesn't look too good. These are all gravel cherts or bull gravel. Not heat treated, although you can heat treat the whole nodules as long as it's a long period of time and the heat's not too hot. You know, 375, just under 400 probably. Let's see how this works. This is pretty typical bull gravel stuff. Just because it's got a lot of mass and it's kind of long doesn't mean that it's going to survive the spalling process. Yeah, I was doing some direct percussion with the abrader on heat treat. As long as your abrader is tough enough, you can knock off flakes like you can with a hammerstone. It just looks like a square hammerstone. But I won't try it with raw stuff because it'll break the abrader. You know, it'll crack somewhere. You know, end up with abraders that look like this. So when I get a heat treat out, I'll show you what I do. It's just straightforward hammerstone stuff. It's a little shortcut if you've got stone that's easy to knap. You can use your commercial abrader as a hammerstone. I'll go over that sometime. One of these days. Now I'm going to lose length on it. And it's not worth trying to preserve the whole length if you can take big flakes by hitting the ends, or thin it down by hitting the ends. I consider it worthwhile to lose a little bit of length. Yeah, I used to lose sleep trying to figure out how to maximize this stuff. Then I figured, you know, if I really want a large piece to end up with, I'm just going to get very large stones. And maybe someday when I have plenty of extra cash laying around, I'll either drive to the rock supplier and pick up a big truckload of nothing but big chunks, or I'll just order a few in the mail every so often. It's like a monthly expense if I want to be buying big chunks. There's a monthly expense anyway, but when you're talking big stuff, the expense is big. Unless you live on a piece of property that has big nodules. Some guys I know personally, two people have moved to Texas specifically so they could be around stone. Yeah, they retired to Texas or whatever, so and make sure that they find a town in central Texas that's, you know, within an hour's reach of stone. That was their main consideration as to where to move. They wanted to move where they can access stone. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad quality. They just didn't want to run out. They didn't want to go exploring halfway around the country for big nodules. So they moved to where they researched where the nodules were. They scouted the properties looking for rocks, and they settled on properties that were either on or near big deposits. Yep, it's a thing. And it's not that difficult to find if you have money. You can buy a piece of property that's got rocks. You might not have cell phone reception, but at least you got rocks. Right? Right. Okay. Is this going to be good stuff or not? So far, it looks nappable. But this is the kind of stuff that you try to heat treat and it gets even worse than this. See those little pockets of I don't know what? They get worse when you heat treat this. Yeah, that looked like a good platform. Striking area. That looked good. I got spoiled by that heat-treated Burlington shirt. Where do you buy that stuff? The only place that I know you can reliably buy the heat-treated Burlington is at Knapping's. For some reason, I think if they start advertising it online, they get swamped, so they don't advertise online. It's an investment to get all the stuff you need to keep up with demand as far as Burlington goes. That stuff is easy to nap. It's better than Keokuk. If you've got a nice supply of Burlington, you've got an area that has good quality stuff. There's probably guys that move up to Illinois or wherever that stuff is found, Missouri, just so they can be near that supply of Burlington. Probably so. Okay. I don't know. This is, I don't know about this. I know it's a good idea to move near the stone. That is a good idea. If this is going to be your retirement hobby. Yeah. Now, if any of you guys sell stone and you see someone in my comment section looking for it, go ahead and self-promote. You know, do a shameless plug. Say, hey dude, I got stone. Or if you know of someone that has got stone and there's someone looking for some, just in the comment section say, hey, I know someone that sells that. You know, just contact me by email, blah blah blah. You can put that in my comment section. I don't care. You can advertise your stone or whatever in my comment section. Yeah, that saves me the trouble of trying to find you. I don't know where all the rock sellers are. And they pop up and they go away. They come and go. Rock sellers come and go. Mainly because supply is limited. they might have a, you know, a few thousand pounds, and then when that's dried up, they don't sell it anymore. You can go through a few thousand pounds easily in 1 year selling it. There are some rock sellers that go through 3,000 pounds a week. Yep. On a good week. Okay. Some of you might be saying, I'm in the wrong business. Yeah. Yeah, you are if you're near stone and you're not selling it. You're definitely in the wrong business, or you're missing out. Yeah, so take advantage of the fact that there are people looking for stone in my comment section. Make sure you pay attention to that. Read the comments. Now's your chance. Might change my mind. All right, let's see. Okay, come on. I know you got it in you. Maybe not. I thought it had it in it. Yeah, so I got that piece off. That one was incomplete from earlier. I wasn't expecting for it to come off right now. Yeah, how do you thin down these pieces that are really cruddy? The new guys want paper thin potato chip points from this stuff, because they think the natives did it, and they did it with stupid old hammerstones and stuff instead of fancy metallic billets. Yeah, they would literally go through tons of stone to get the very few that are like this that knap well. That's why you see a lot more debitage than you see artifacts. Not only because making artifacts is wasteful, but to get to the good stuff, you've got to go through lots of material. And once in a while, you'll see a point made from really bad stuff, and it doesn't look nice. And you see a point that looks nice, and it looks like it's made from bad stuff, but it's probably made from stuff that's 1 out of 100 pieces. They find one that finally will knap well. And that's what they make their fancy ones out of. But you guys have been watching the channel. Those of you that have been watching the channel for a while, that you know that already. And it's just a constant question over and over and over. How did they make, back in the day, how did they make beautiful stuff out of tough stone? And the answer is they didn't. They did not. The stone was not all that tough. You can't make really nice stuff out of stone that will not cooperate. It has to cooperate. And sometimes you can practice your whole life. You're not going to get something out of stone that will not cooperate. And I keep telling people that. They don't believe me. And over again, they try it over and over again to make stuff, beautiful stuff out of bad stone. They can't do it. So instead of trusting their experience, they go, well, they did it back in the day. Apparently. Yeah. Apparently. Apparently it doesn't mean they did. Okay. How am I going to get this turtle back off? Well, I got to make it more narrow. Can you hear the neighbors? Once in a while they'll clean out their pool and invite their whole family. And there's a big old party. Yep. Yes, indeed. Okay, come on. There's like quartzite on the base of this. So I got to be careful with this stuff. I have to hit it extremely hard to get it thin, right? But I don't think it can handle the hard hits once it gets thin. So I got to be very careful. The edges seem to withstand the shock well. So I'm not going to get radial cracks. But the thing is, I'm probably going to end up with an island somewhere. That's the danger. If I can't drive flakes across. This is very close to being quartzite. Especially as I approach the center of it. This is steel, by the way. 3/8 inch steel rod. Steel can blast through almost anything. If I was using antler to do this, I would probably have to knock off a big old spall. You know, about 5 times this size with some antler, and then just nap it around the edges and not worry about the thickness. Yeah. You know, if you get a thin spall, you don't have to worry about eliminating these turtlebacks. Is that the secret? Yeah, most of the time. Most of the time, that's the secret. Just trim around the edges with a thin spall. Alright, so 5 inches. I'm going to get rid of that turtleback. It probably has not snapped in half because it is so thick in the middle. So you gotta think about that part. There we go. Got a little bit of it. I'll take it. Take what I can get. Let's loosen up some more of it. There we go. A little bit more. Knock it down a little bit. I'll send a flake into that area, hopefully, eventually. I'm using this as a hammerstone now. It is abrading it also, but I can knock off flakes with it. Little bitty ones, so it kind of creates a bevel. Give me the correct angle there. I braid it all over the place. I'll be hitting this really hard in several locations. All right. Yes, that's what I need. Right over the top. All right. This one here. Let's see if this one works. It wasn't too bad. Need a longer flake though. Yeah. Ooh, I did not hit that hard enough. I gotta hit this really, really hard. How's that? No? That was really, really hard. Oh yeah, it hasn't, there's an incomplete. Incomplete. Dang it. Yeah, I can't get these things to travel more than that. Which is okay. I mean, it does go, it is going halfway. But this is not the difficult stage yet. This is the easy part, comparatively speaking. The final thinning and the final shaping on this kind of stuff, that's the hard part. Yeah. I've been working on paleo stuff, so I think I'm going to do a paleo on this one too. I've got a large brass rod I could be using, but I need a bigger, stronger mallet for this rod here, because this barely does anything when I hit the rod. The rod just stays in place, basically. I need a big old heavy mallet of some other material. This high molecular weight plastic is good, but it's a little bit light. It's very comparable to antler, and I've used the antler mallet for years before I switched to plastic. I switched to plastic because this is basically indestructible. I don't have to worry about it. I've cracked several mallets doing the indirect percussion thing that were made of antler, including moose antler, because of the amount of force I used to hit these flakes off. Yeah. Yeah, one of the main advantages of this type of freehand without a pad indirect percussion is because I can really strike this very hard and not worry about the follow through and not worry about what's going to happen to my leg when I hit it as hard as I possibly can. And yeah, I've reached the limit of my strength on how hard I hit. Now, how many of you guys know that you've got a whole lot of force that you can do it as if you try a maximum amount of hitting? Just imagine the maximum amount that you can generate as far as force, and then imagine it being on your leg. Okay? That's why I don't nap on my leg. All right. That was one of the hardest hits of the whole process right there. And I just need a couple more like that. Very similar to that amount of force. That still didn't do it. Okay, let's see. It's going to have to go more narrow. Dang it. Yeah, those flakes do not want to release. Ooh, that went all right. Now I'm coming up against that undetached flake from there. If I can get this corner to release, it might work. I gotta watch that I don't get too thin in the middle and not near the tip. I gotta thin down the tip first. The middle always has to be thicker than the tips or the ends. If you want to do it the way I do it. Ouch. A bite, took another bite. I don't know what kind of paleo I can make that narrow. Dang it. All right. Yeah, these flakes coming off are going to go into the heat treat for sure. I don't know. It's going to be wonky. Yeah. Oh well. Did it do it? It tried to do it. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's trying to do it. Yeah, one of the things about preserving length is you end up with long and narrow and skinny. When you could probably, I could probably make a thinner point if it was shorter. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to flute this one. I'll probably just make a plain view. Maybe. A long, skinny plain view, I suppose. Come on, I know you can do it. There's a crystal pocket. Okay. Make it or break it. Not too shabby. Very hard hit. It survived. Still got a lot of junk. Yes. I was afraid of a step fracture on that one. I don't know, I don't like it. I got a bunch of crunchyiola. There's crapiola pudding and there's crunchyiola pudding. The stone is crapiola pudding, but the crunchiness is crunchyiola pudding. Yeah. Double trouble with this stone. See, I get crunching in here, so I can't really send a flake in there because it's all crunchy. So I got to really dull that down and make it more narrow. I got crunchy on the other side too, where it's got undetached flakes and all kinds of weird stuff. Yeah. It might not be that difficult to thin down once I get the shape correct. Yeah, I can thin down the edges all right. The middle might be a little bulky. What do I say? Bunky? Another crystal pocket right there. trying to speak a little bit louder in these videos, or in this one anyway. I got the phone a little bit further away from my face, so it's not right up next to my eyes or whatever, so I can see better. But that means my voice is further away from the microphone. And that little bit of difference makes a difference. Yep. I don't know. Am I going to be able to do it? It's starting to get a little bit too narrow. You notice I'm grinding it a lot to make it more rounded. A rounded edge seems to work well with this stuff. And luckily I've got a nice big strong abrader that I can use to make this process quicker. Alright, did it do it? Oh, it's such a wimpy little flake with such a hard hit. I don't know. These are extremely hard hits and I'm just getting wimpy little flakes. Yeah, and that's not too bad on that side. Alright, I don't have much opportunity now to thin that down. I'm going to have to be very, very careful about how I set up the edges now. I was careful already, but now I have to be extra careful because the only way I can do it now is through these two meaty spots here and here. Send flakes in through there. I don't have any other areas that look meaty enough on this side. This is already sloped thin. Dang it. I don't know, maybe I can. I just don't want it to be that narrow. But, oh well. If I can't avoid the narrowness, then that's it. I can't avoid it. Do this now while it's still kind of thick in the middle. I gotta thin down this base. And yeah, I'm losing a bunch of length. Yes. If I try to preserve too much length, I'll have nothing. I might as well have a shorter one and something than nothing. Why would it amount to nothing? Because if it's too long and I start hammering on the end, tip pops off or something and that's it. It's going to look pretty bad. You can't be doing that too much. And you hit it when the flake goes nowhere. You can't be doing that too much. I'm talking to the rock. Yeah, as long as it goes somewhere, I'm in good shape. If it gets too tough in the middle, where it's not going anywhere when I hit it, that's when I'm out of luck. I think I can thin it down a little bit more. I can leave it thick in the middle. But then it wouldn't look paleo. It would look like some kind of archaic knife. or a spear point. All right, let's see if I can thin down the base here. Yeah, that flake was not too bad. Yeah, those flakes are not too bad. Alrighty, at least there's that. At least they're not too bad. Ouch, that was not good. That was better. Alright, I gotta trim the side now, but that allows me to get closer to the nasty area. Come on. What are you doing? I ground it down too much. Yeah. Okay, that's my future strike zone. Oh well, let's see. I got a crystal pocket right there. It's kind of powdery, so that's okay. All right, here goes. Make it or break it. Did it do it? Almost. I might be able to do something with it. It might be. Come on. I might be able to do something with it. Gosh, it doesn't look that good. Let's see. It's not bad. Golly, I feel like I'm going to break it every time I hit it. At this stage. Yeah, because these hits have to be extremely hard. Just to get a little flake. I should stop fussing and just do it. Just do it. Come on. You're not that tough at this end. Those flakes were traveling well earlier. I just need a little bit thinner, that's it. Come on. That's it. Yeah, that's all I need for thinness at the base. Well, it depends on how concave I'm going to get it. Plain views, a lot of times they didn't have a big concavity. That's the thing. Once I start doing this, if I want to preserve length, I end up having a big concavity. So it looks more like a Dalton base. But anyway, oh well. That was a good chunk that came off. Let's see it. Nice. Alright, so the other side, I'm not going to touch it, or should I? I could. There's a lump right here. The Clovises do not have a lump in the middle, so I got to do that. If I want it to look Clovisy, which means a very concave base, but oh well. Can't have that lump in the middle. They didn't have that lump in the middle right there. Yeah, I don't think I've seen any paleos with a lump here. It's gotta go inward. See, where is that flake? I don't know. But now it's scooped inward. That's what I needed. The rest of it doesn't need to be all that great. It's just as long as you have a few characteristics that make it look reasonable. I'll get that in a minute. Now we just got to figure out what I can do to thin it down a little bit more. If anything. If not, it's going to have to stay kind of thick. Gotta make sure I don't mess up my chance for a thinning strike. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I should clean up the area. Yeah, this next stage is extremely critical, so let me just clean up a little bit. I got some stuff for the heat treat down here. The very hardest part is coming up. It gets harder and harder as it gets toward the end. with this tough stone stuff. Because the amount of force I need stays the same, but it's just thinner and more delicate now. That's what makes it difficult. Because from experience, I know what will break it. So I've got to ride that edge. Right where it can break. It's difficult to judge just how hard I need to hit. Okay, ready for the flip. There we go. Yeah, these little breathers help a lot. All right, and it makes it easier to clean up later. Yeah. All right, let's examine it. That I could probably pick that a little bit, but I want to get a flake maybe through there. Maybe. As soon as I do the symmetry, I start the final regularizing. I'm going to take a flake through here on the other side, right there. I'll probably take a flake through here. 2 flakes on this other side, one here and one there. And then I'll have less side on this side as I trim it down, and that'll give me maybe an opportunity to send in a flake through there. I don't think I dare take a flake up here on this side to try to get that off. I've already tried twice and it didn't work. It's dicey there. Alright, so I'm just going to regularize it. Sometimes opportunities open up when I'm regularizing. As long as I don't get too narrow. Okay, come on. Yeah, this is the hardest part. Can't have any step fractures. Come on. I know you need to be hit with lots of force. Yeah, I gotta fix that tip here in a little bit. Man, okay. Look at that. It's eating up my tool. Come on. Steel's tougher than that. You're tougher than that. You're not going to let the stone eat your lunch. Are you? Maybe. Okay. I don't know what it's doing, but it's not responding. All right, maybe that was it. Okay, not too bad. Nice. Okay. Come on. Ouch. I don't know what to do there. Just to leave it. Yeah, I'll leave it. I can trim down the rest of it later. I just want to get these big hits out of the way. Yeah. I got a lot of mass here, but I got an unfortunate step fracture right there where I need to hit. So it's not that great. And then on this side I've got concrete. I could probably hit that step on its face, but if I don't have to do that, I won't. By hitting that step on his face, it runs the risk of snapping the whole thing. Just like if I were to flute it too hard, it would, dive. If I hit that like this to try to continue it, the chances are it could dive right in and clip the whole thing in half. So it's better if I just try to thin it from the side here. But I've got a step fracture right there. And even if I pick that out, I still might not have enough meat on it to finish out the job. Let's see. Come on, there's steel. You should be able to pick that out. Did it do it? Took the top off. Let's see if I can pressure flake it off. Well, it's out of there. It didn't feather out. It just kind of stepped a little bit more. All right, I'm gonna see if I can push that. Pushing it doesn't run the risk of snapping the whole thing as much as hitting it. I don't know, I'm just going to regularize it. Yeah. See what it looks like after I regularize it. I need to see how it pressure flakes too. Yeah, it pressure flakes worse than it percussion flakes. Dang it. Okay. All right, better. Yeah, it's like pressure flaking quartzite. It's not too happy. It's not a happy stone. It's got issues. Yeah, I just did a Dalton, so I'm kind of in a Dalton mentality as far as the base shape goes. But it's all right. They're related, right? They're all paleos. That's what I say. They're all related. Come on. See, the danger of too much pressure is I might gouge out a big old steak. I don't want to gouge it out. You know, down here, I don't want a big old gouge out because I got to grind it. And if it's got a gouge or too much of a bulb, when I grind it, I lose too much of the edge. Because the surface is, you know, concave if I pop out one that's got a bulb that's too big. And that makes the edge delicate. And when I grind it, that delicate edge goes away and it won't be nice and straight. So these pop outs have to be shallow so that when I go to grind it, it stays straight. Now, where do I work on these difficult materials? I get just as many people wanting to see difficult materials as I do the delicate obsidian stuff. I'm trying to think, have I made a Clovis out of obsidian yet? I don't think I've made a Clovis out of obsidian. At least not on video. That might be the next one. But it's not going to be today. It's crunch time today. I got to try to make a bunch of, or as many points as possible tonight. Which means like 3. If I go too fast, I end up snapping all of them, so I only have like 1. If I go too fast, I get 1. If I go slower, I get 3. It's funny how that works. Yeah, I can quickly make a bunch of them broken in half. I can make 5 of those in an hour. A bunch of those broken in half ones. You know, I get to this stage on some of them, and they end up breaking. It's already been an hour. It's already been an hour and 4 minutes. You guys can take a little coffee break or go check on your sandwiches or whatever. You left your grilled cheese sandwich on the stove. When you get over there, it's going to be a little crispy critter. So you got to go check on it when I do the pressure flaking. Nobody likes to see this part anyway. You're not missing anything, according to everybody else. By their actions anyway. Yes, I'm talking to you, the 60% that never subscribe that watch my channel. Talking to you guys. You don't watch this part. You zip on through it to the end. Yeah, that's fine. That don't matter. But if you subscribe, one day I might get an award. Yeah. Something I can frame on the wall. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. Might be nice. Alright, let's see. Regularizing is not that easy. Okay. Ouchie, that's not good. I'm getting crunchies near the edge. Or, not near the edge. Hold on. See that? Instead of thinning it, it stopped in a step fracture. I guess that's a crunchy. Just a little bit thinner on the tip. That's it. That's all I want. Just a little bit thinner. I keep forgetting that I need a couple sticks of dynamite to get through this stuff. Yeah, just a little bit thinner, but it doesn't let up on the amount of force it wants. Come on now. All right, that's all right. Just don't take too much off of the edge, I'm telling myself, because then it will look dumb. And all that time I spent will be for naught. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit wonky. Let's see. There we go. There we go. I think I was losing energy because of the glove. Yeah. I just want them little flakes like that, yeah. It's too late to do the thinning anymore. I just need to try and improve the edge quality. There we go. Yeah, I shouldn't mess with it. I'm thinking, oh, I can thin that down eventually, but no, I'm not going to mess with it. I'm thinking maybe I could set up a striking area and thin it No, no more thinning, just edge work. Probably gonna just, no, I can't grind that area. There we go. It does look like I have a little island now, though. Yeah. Let's see. I can't do too much about it. The other side's pretty thick too. I guess I thought that would feather out and not step fracture. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to finish it out. I'll leave it a little jagged because there's no way that I can effectively sharpen it by being gentle with it. It just crunches the edge. So I just do, you know, some pop outs that are a little bit sloppy but sharp. Because if I pamper it too much, it just leaves a little thin edge, but it's a crushed thin edge if I do it too delicately. All right, come on. Let's see. That's an abraded spot right there if I ever saw one. Yeah, it still feels a little bit dull, but oh well. It's not too bad. All right, so a little bit more picking on the edge down here. And then grind it. And that's it. This little ear is a little bit thick. Let's see. Ooh, it's step fractured a little bit. Let's see. It's a little bit better. It's still kind of thick. Another step fracture. Let's see. There we go. All right, I'll stop messing with it and just even it up. Did I finish the sides? Yeah, they're pretty much finished. Okay. So the hard part was over. Yeah. See, the hardest part is final finishing, because you can end up doing stuff like that where you're trying to thin down the edge and you end up with late stage step fractures. Those are the worst. All right, so I would call that a plain view, but I guess Clovis would be possible as well. This side actually thinned down pretty easily. It's this one that had that crapiola area. Let's see. This one's 4 3/8 by widest part 1 3/8. Or down here it's like 1 1/4. What is the thick? Let's see, millimeters. 35, and it's probably 10. Yeah, 3 to 1, right through the thickest area. Translucency slight, very slight, but it's a nice strong point. Probably can be used as a spear point, handheld spear point. And I think the wood would go up over the step. You know what I mean? Some people are thinking that the wood goes right up to the step fracture on these thinning flakes, but I think the wood would go up over that. It depends on how high you grind it. The wood goes slightly higher than the last grinding point. Okay, so I think the wood would be right there like that, and it would be thicker. Just barely enough to show the little ears, just like that. Because you can shape the wood underneath. You can shape the wood so that the stuff underneath fits nice and flush. Yeah, and then I ground it up to about here, and then you just wrap it with some glue, obviously. I think this concavity is for glue. so more glue can be in there holding it. Okay, all right. I can cheat and just put that side in the thumbnail, but I'm going to put this side in the thumbnail. Yeah, leave all that crapiola pudding in the thumbnail. Okay, there you go.